Good afternoon, Brec Bassinger. Welcome on VH Berries.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I am extremely grateful because your craft is forming a bridge that helped me connect with each side of the BMB River border. And on the edge of the stream, you are collecting fragments and the flutter of butterflies. How are you doing today?
I am doing fabulous. How are you?
I am also doing good, Brec Bassinger. And at first sight, I would love to bring up the Plate River in Nebraska that empties in the Missouri River, as well as in the flesh of the DC Cinematic Universe with the character Courtney Whitmore.
Yes. Are you referring to a literal river?
Absolutely, Brec Bassinger. I created a transition through the river.
Oh, I am not familiar with this river, but cool.
I would love to discuss about that character named Courtney Whitmore. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Oh my goodness. Okay. Yes. So I played Courtney Whitmore / Stargirl in DC Universe's Stargirl. I got to bring her to life for 3 seasons. And the platforms were kind of all over the place. We started on DC Universe, and then we went over to HBO Max / CW. And I was the 3rd person to play a live action Stargirl. So I feel like it's always such an honor to get to be part of such a universe like DC, but also getting to forever write my name on one of the characters, where now I have forever been one of the few women that have gotten to play Stargirl and Courtney.
Furthermore, Brec Bassinger, I mentioned the Plate River in Nebraska because your character and her family is actually doing a relocation to Nebraska.
Okay. Well, I knew the show was based in Nebraska, and I've read the comics. Yeah, I have one of my Stargirl comics right there behind me. But we filmed it in Atlanta, so I actually have never been to Nebraska in real life.
You never been to Nebraska in real life, Brec Bassinger. And to use Pat Duggan's own words, Nebraska is a place 2,200 feet above sea level, with fresh air, friendly people, and schools without metal detectors.
Yes, that is a quote directly from the show. I believe it's season 1, episode 1, that you just quoted Mr. Pat Dugan, played by Luke Wilson.
Absolutely, Brec Bassinger. This is an iconic line, and I would love to explore that television series that is called Stargirl. Can you tell us a little bit more about it and about handling the cosmic stuff?
So Stargirl follows a girl named Courtney Whitmore who gets, it's a blended family. So her mom remarries Pat Dugan. So that is her new stepfather. And with that comes a new brother, Mike Dugan. And so it's kind of the blended family. She ends up stumbling across this cosmic staff, which had previously been wielded by Starman, and it had not worked for anyone since Starman passed away. And when she stumbles upon it, it lights up and it works for her, and she becomes the new wielder of the cosmic staff, becoming Stargirl. And she, throughout the show, recruits a kind of group of misfit teenagers through her high school to continue the legacy of the Justice Society of America, or the JSA. And so it's just, you get to see the family dynamic, you get to see a bunch of high schoolers figuring out how to be superheroes while also just navigating high school.
Navigating high school is one of the subjects of Stargirl, and I also learned, Brec Bassinger, the word temperamental to qualify that object. A word that means liable to unreasonable changes of mood.
I absolutely love that you just commented on that word specifically, because that word became an inside joke between me and my boyfriend at the time, Dylan. All the time, we would just say, that's extremely temperamental. Like, we could be talking about, like, the eggs we were eating, and we'd be like, those are extremely temperamental. And so I love that you clocked that word, because it stuck with me as well.
This word, Brec Bassinger, of temperamental, stuck with you, and we are actually seeing a lot of feelings such as hope, courage, as well as power, because you are believing in yourself and in your ability to fight. And I am very curious about those action sequences and your training behind the scenes.
Yeah. So I had a very good amount of stunt training. Our stunt coordinator, Walter Garcia, is an absolute mastermind of all things stunts. And he ended up directing, I want to say, 6 episodes of the show across the 3 seasons. So not only was he an extremely talented stunt coordinator, but a really talented up-and-coming director. And before I started filming, I had 2 weeks I had to go down to Atlanta 2 weeks early, strictly for training. And we broke up our day into 3 parts. So I trained in combat fighting, bow staff training, and then gymnastics, because Courtney is a gymnast. I was a gymnast growing up, so pretty much after like day 1 of training gymnastics, they're like, okay, well, we don't need to work on this anymore. As for bow staff work, I struggled immensely. So it's good that we were able to give more time to it. And even by the time we started filming, I wasn't extremely comfortable working with the staff yet. But I think that was very much like life reflecting art and art reflecting life, because throughout filming, I got way more comfortable with the staff and the stunt work. And so would Courtney, so would Stargirl. She got more comfortable with the staff. She got more confident with her abilities. So I think it was a really beautiful reflection of what was going on in the character's life as well as mine.
Absolutely, Brec Bassinger, and by listening to your voice, I can feel the emotion when you are remembering those moments. And I believe that you're keeping a deep memory from Stargirl, because you have the number 394 collector Funko Pop collectible vinyl toys behind you, as well as some comics awards. And I also suspect you to hide a piece of the cosmic staff under your bed.
I actually have the cosmic staff behind me as well. I have all the memorabilia. I'm in my office. So yes, I got to keep the cosmic staff, and I may or may not have also gotten to keep the super suit.
keeping the super suit as well, Brec Bassinger. And in the first and the last episode of that television series, there is a location that is called the Blue Valley Tires. And I believe that this is the absolute best place to replace the tires of the white van.
Wow, what a transition right there.
I would love Brec Bassinger to discuss about that very recent feature film that is called The Man in the White Van. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yes, so I actually filmed it, oh my goodness, 2020? It was the first project I went back to film during the pandemic, and it was right before season 2 of Stargirl. So it's taken some time to come out, but we officially have a theatrical release date. It's coming out December 13th, Friday the 13th, which is perfect for the genre. It's a horror thriller. It's based on a true story. So a lot of people have this like unknown fear of white vans, but it's actually based in truth. There was a serial killer in the 1970s who would kidnap their victims with a white van. So it's following that serial killer and this girl, Annie, who was kind of being followed by him. And I play her older sister, Margaret, who is the quintessential bratty 1970s teenager. She was so fun to play because I had never played a character like her. And just her wardrobe, her clothes, she's super duper girly, which like a lot of times I'll play girly girls, but like kind of still sporty. And this girl is like not sporty, dresses, heels, high-pitched screams. We filmed it in Shreveport, Louisiana, but it's based in Florida, which was really nice because I live in Texas. And so I was filming like 2.5 hours away from where my family lives in real life. So they came up and visited me on set, and it was really fun.
They came to visit you on set, Brec Bassinger. And as you just mentioned, the man in the white van is going to screen in theaters on Friday, the 13th of December. And the story is talking about Margaret that is stalked by an unpromising, ominous and gloomy white van.
Yes. The movie's really fun in that, like, somewhat like Jaws, how the creature, you don't see him a lot. And so your imagination pictures the scariest thing. And you don't really see the man in the white van. The white van is the creature. And so I feel like they created such a almost like symbolic interpretation of the bad guy, which was cool.
Absolutely, Brec Bassinger, the character that is scaring the audience is the white van. And I am wondering if you're considering the idea of dressing like a white van because Halloween is coming very soon.
I mean, I hadn't considered it, but it's not a bad idea. I think I'd be the scariest thing all Halloween. That'd be terrifying.
It might be terrifying, Brec Bassinger, and you also might consider decking yourself out in a cheerleader costume to make a direct nod to Dawn Longchamp.
Oh. Yes, I played Dawn Longchamp in the Lifetime Limited series Dawn. I love your little transitions between projects. I'm on my toes on like what you're gonna say next.
Absolutely, Brec Bassinger. I would love to explore that television series called V.C. Andrews' Dawn that is directly inspired from the work of novelist Cleo Virginia Andrews. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, so V.C. Andrews is, like you said, a very notable novelist. They're most known for, oh my gosh, what's it called? I auditioned. Oh, Flowers in the Attic. So one of my very first auditions in Los Angeles was for the Flowers in the Attic movies, and I didn't get it. And so this was like a very full circle moment for me 10 years later to get to audition for another V.C. Andrews project and do it. And my mom and aunt and grandma grew up reading her books. And so that was really fun for me to get to be a part of something that that generation and people I love so dearly knew about and were fans of. I love doing things that my loved ones are already excited about. It just makes it more exciting for me. Filmed it up in Vancouver, and it was the craziest filming experience. It was such a good stretch as an actor because I got to do everything. I feel like every day I was screaming, talking about the scenes. There was so many screaming scenes and crying scenes and giving birth scenes, and it really, really pushed me as an actor to dive into things that I haven't experienced in real life. So I had to do more research and my due diligence to be able to properly portray these things. I have never given birth. So I'm okay, how can I make it realistic that it looks like I'm giving birth? But I feel like as an actor, that's an absolute dream. And the cast was just so talented. I'm still so close with so many of them today. I was on FaceTime with Corey Woods, who plays my best friend in the series, yesterday. So it was just overall such an amazing experience.
You mentioned Brec Bassinger, the giving birth scenes, but you forgot the singing scenes because this project helped you to reconnect with your passion for singing because we can see you doing a parlor song by songwriter Stephen Foster from the 1864 years with the lyrics "Beautiful dreams hurt in the day, lulled by the moonlight, have all passed away."
Yes, that song haunted me for a long time because we did about 100 takes of that song. And it's not the best song to get stuck in your head, but the entire crew was just walking around singing it. And I think that was another way that project definitely did push me is I grew up doing pageants and I would sing in pageants, but I'm actually not a singer. So when I auditioned for it, I kind of was they're going to go with someone who is classically trained because Dawn is a proper, almost opera singer in the movie or in the show. And they trusted me anyways. And I was lip syncing the entire show. And they still brought a voice coach on and really helped support me to make it look as good as possible. And I guess we did a good job because I think you thought that it was me singing when it was not.
In definitive, Brec Bassinger, I was, during that scene, thinking that we should call Ace McFumbles to comment the scene.
Wow, another great transition. Ace McFumbles is a throwback for me.
Absolutely. This character is a throwback for you because Bella Dawson might be my favorite character, but always after Ace McFumbles, who always remains number one.
Yeah, Ace McFumbles is an absolute icon. Played by Rio Mangini, who is just the most talented person. Love him to death. Love his mom, Anne. Bella and the Bulldogs was my first leading show, and I was like 15 years old when we started it. I have a poster of it right in front of me, so I keep looking at it. And talk about an amazing experience. I feel so grateful for like the cast that I had. They were so kind, and it was kind of like it was my childhood. That was my high school experience. I dropped out of freshman year of high school and moved to online school when I booked the show, and so those kids were my classmates on TV and off TV. And so for me, I look back and it has just like this nostalgic feel to me. And I have like a blooper reel from the show, and I'll just go back and watch it regularly because it just makes me so happy.
Revisiting those memories is making you happy, Brec Bassinger. Mm-hmm. And I am very curious about how you would compare all the effort to be able to handle the cosmic stuff with the ability and the effort that is necessary to do that final ball catch, sprint, and backflip, scoring against the Rangers, 26 points against 24.
Wow, you're talking about one of the football games on Bella and the Bulldogs, correct?
Absolutely, I am referring to the very final action at the end of the last season.
Yes, so once again, had an amazing stunt double who was the other part of Bella, just as on Stargirl. I had Miss Christina Basket, who was the other part of Stargirl. And I give so much credit to these women. They're just so talented and so strong. With Bella and the Bulldogs, I also did have a lot of football training. So I would say some of it was me. If there was ever any tackling, it was not me getting tackled. They would bring in the stunt double to get tackled. But like I said, I was a gymnast growing up, so I was able to do more of the gymnastics than they were expecting me to do, which was really, really fun.
Absolutely, doing a lot of gymnastics. And in season 2, episode 15 of Bella and the Bulldogs, that specific episode is titled Bad Grandma, which is the complete opposite of your real life wonderful grandma, because she once helped you to get that plane ticket from Texas to California for a callback.
Yeah. No, you are so right. Yeah. My whole family sacrificed so much for me to be able to follow my dreams of acting and pursue this as a career. And what you are referring to, if I may expand on it, is so I wanted to be an actor since I was 7 years old, and I got into acting school when I was 10. I trained for 3 years, and my dad saved up enough money for me to go to LA for 30 days. And my mom and I always referred to it as 30 days in LA. And that was my first time going down and really auditioning and trying it out. One of the very last days I was there, I had auditioned for a show called Haunted Hathaways. It was another Nickelodeon show. But I had to fly out the next day. So I did the audition, didn't hear anything. I flew home. When I landed back home in Texas, I got a call from my agents. They're like, they need you to come back for a callback. And at that point, like, I had done my 30 days. We didn't have the money. So my grandma figured it out. And I flew back to LA by myself. I was 13 and went to the callback. Went really well. Waited a couple days and they're like, we're sorry, we just don't know. And at that point I was heartbroken. I had flown home and flown all the way back. I was like, this is it. This is the first thing I'm going to do. So I flew back home to Texas. I thought I didn't get it. It was a week before starting freshman year of high school. And so I had like already gotten connected back with the cheer team at my like local high school. And I was like, I'm just going to try out for cheer. I'll try acting out again when like I'm older. It's fine. It was awesome. Get back. Right when I land, I am still on the plane in Texas, DFW airport, and get a call like, they need you back here tomorrow. You booked it. Like, you're going to start filming tomorrow. Congrats. And I'm like, I can't get back. Like, my grandma already did this. My whole family has like put in this effort I can't get back, but family sacrifice, made it work. Flew back to LA next day, didn't try out for cheerleading, didn't become a high school cheerleader. Instead, started filming that first TV show, Haunted Hathaways, ended up being on like somewhere between 5 and 10 episodes. I don't remember, but that show is where I met the creators of Belle and the Bulldogs. And I'm someone who just like believes in divinity and like doesn't believe in coincidences. So at the time that all felt so difficult and it was so like I had to ask for so much help, but everything worked out exactly the way it was supposed to, and just like trusting the process and trusting God's plan. And so, yes, I'm so grateful for my mom, my grandma, my dad, used all his like credit card points to get me another flight back. It was a whole family effort.
It was a whole family effort, Brec Bassinger. And if I understood correctly, if one day there is a BMB biopic, we should call it 30 Days in LA.
Yeah, I love that. That would be good. I agree.
On one hand, there is 30 days in LA, but on the other hand, we could also create 25 minutes on the green cheese moon.
Yes, the green cheese moon. He's also referring to, I think this is what you're referring to, is that before I wanted to be an actor, I wanted to be an astronaut because 6-year-old Brec thought the moon was made of cheese. And when I found out the moon was not made of cheese, I went ahead and decided I wanted to be an actor instead.
Absolutely. It was a drastic and dramatic change of direction. And I actually made my scientific researches concerning that theory. That is an existing statement referring to a fanciful belief that the moon is composed of green cheese. And if the moon were actually made of green cheese, its density and mass would be about a third of the current moon.
Wow. The more you know. I didn't know that. And I don't know if I would have ever Googled that. So thank you for doing your research and letting me know. My 6-year-old self feels very satisfied by knowing that.
Your 6-year-old self is extremely happy to learn that information. And I am also very curious about the time you were making your mark at the Caitlin Sullivan Acting School that is located in the Dallas-Fort Worth area at the exact 118 Lynn Avenue in Lewisville.
Wow. You looked up the address. I'm impressed. Yes. So it's Catherine Sullivan. She's an acting coach here in the DFW area. Oh,
I would love to discuss about that specific time. Can you tell us about the biggest lessons that you learned?
I learned a lot of lessons while at that school. I learned that acting is really freaking hard and that you'll get a lot of rejection. And I think Catherine does such a good job preparing you for how difficult the industry is. Her program is not an easy program, but I think I'm so grateful for that because I feel like it prepared me for that 30 days in LA. I'd been there for 30, or not, sorry, my computer, 1 second. For 3 years by the time I went to LA, and I feel like she just prepared me so well. From an acting standpoint, the thing that stuck with me the most that I still use every single time I audition for something or I'm filming a project is she has something called inner monologue. So she has different film classes, and there's film 1, film 2, film 3, film 4, film 5. Film 2 is inner monologue. And it's something that I still use to this day in my craft. If I get a script, I'll go through and write my character's inner monologue. And it's just been a tool that is so helpful to me.
Those tools were very helpful, and in conclusion, I am looking forward to see those upcoming projects, and I am immediately going to prepare my white van costume. Thank you very much, Brec Bassinger.
Thank you, Victor. I appreciate you talking with me and all of your wonderful fun facts and transitions.